It's typical last day on Radio Row. This is number 16 for me. It never gets dull. It's never a dull moment here on Radio Row. And by the time I go to the game on Sunday, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I'm here for the game too.
only number 3 for me. Right, the game is like a back in the
it's
back.
Secondary.
You know
it really is.
Really ain't even, but we got some special guests in the building. We got Dr. J and Darrell here representing Brilliant Minds Unite. You know, talking about financial literacy and mental health, which is so important in that time today. So, guests, can y'all give us a little bit about your initiative and how it's been growing so much?
Ladies.
All right, so we are tackling mental financial health of athletes. We're doing this tour around the United States, but we're also expanding out of the U.S. But we're just making sure that one student, one person at a time, we're making sure we're having a conversation. We're no longer using money as a coping mechanism. We're not allowing survivor's guilt to be a thing any longer. We're making sure our athletes know what life is after you leave the team, or even if you get injured and you don't get your full contract, making sure you have a fallback plan. And Microsoft's philanthropy department with Darrell Booker, they teamed up with us to ensure that we do this tour around the United States, and we're tackling not just NIL contracts, but we're dealing with individual team players as well. Everyone from the Saints to the Falcons, if you're in the league, we want to make sure that we actually having the conversations that matter.
Yeah. And for us, it's really how we use the power of data and technology to help push that message. Get behind Dr. J, Brilliant Mind, and really just disseminate this much needed education to everyone at scale. You know what I mean?
Right. Now, how is it going? How are the players taking it?
It's been amazing. So we have our secret weapon, which is we bring an entertainment attorney, we bring a tax attorney, we also bring athletes, former athletes who have done very well, who just want to give back to these younger athletes, or even other former athletes who are older, who now actually financially are broke and trying to, round 2 of getting it right. And so we bring in people, representation of people that they actually trust, believe, and understand to come in and have these panels with them. And so we started in a panel style. We don't try to manage their wealth, but we teach them how to manage the basics of their own. And then we also help them vet their wealth manager and people of that nature. So as a former investment banker who worked in finance now for 22 years to be clear.
Oh, wow.
I look like a baby.
You look like you ain't doing anything.
So I managed $2.1 billion in wealth. And so after leaving corporate, I realized I never want to manage wealth again. And that also makes it easier for the athletes to trust us, because they know we're not trying to come in and manage their wealth. We're just giving them the game from the behind the scenes. And we're also bringing the representation that they believe.
Yeah, and so many athletes themselves are wanting to give back. So they want to receive this information for themselves, but then they also want to implement it in their own charitable causes, their nonprofits, their foundations, so that they can then pass that information down to the younger people in the community.
Get that generational wealth going. That's what's sorely needed in our community.
Can you just highlight maybe a couple tools, 2 or 3 tools that you guys have in the game that you can highlight with our audience in regards to that wealth management?
Repeat that.
Could you just highlight maybe 2 or 3 tools that our audience can use?
All right, so the first thing I would say is we just did a show with Disney, Microsoft Philanthropy and Disney just did a show. It's called Our America in the Black. And in that show, we're helping Black and brown people different levels, from entering college to already established, expanding their philanthropic endeavors. And we're giving them actionable and executionable tips that they can actually do to actually learn. So just watch that show. It's on Hulu Plus. It's on ABC 7, and it continues.
Disney
Our
Plus.
America in the Black. And so it's really important. That's one aspect. Another thing I would say is that, if you come on at my social media at Jatali Bellanton, we go live and we teach people in less than 5-10 minutes how to create a brokerage account and tips on how to actually pick stocks, right? Everyone thinks it's so hard. And it's really not that hard. Microsoft, you want to give one of the tips that you guys give us?
No, I mean, for us, it's just really, again, how can we really use that technology and really push as much of that information as fast as possible. I mean, nowadays you can spend money so quickly after pushing a button and do a lot of things that you really don't want to do. So how can we use focus on some of the apps and tools that allow you to invest and save and really set yourself up as well.
And shout out to organizations like Earn Your Leisure. So EYL, for Disney, they gave a code EYL Black. And with EYL Black, what basically happens with EYL Black is that you're able to actually turn around and now learn financial literacy and get discounts to their curriculum, 30% off. Another amazing thing is we have Tiffany the Budgetnista. She also have the Live Richer Academy, and she has codes and she gives out 30 to 40% off of her curriculum as well. But EYL, the cool thing about them is if you're on YouTube, the cool thing is you can get a lot of free information from experts in regards to everything from real estate to building business credit, personal credit, and I hope you guys are actually utilizing credit in America, because that's one of the most important factors if you're investing, especially when you are a college student and you get to campus and they're giving you a high APR credit card.
Yeah, you don't know what I didn't know how to act with that when they gave me. Oh my God, didn't even know I had to pay it back at the time, and then without interest, didn't know what the interest and all
And
that.
the thing about it, they
took
approved
a while.
everyone that came up.
Oh
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, they
They
smile.
sit out there in the yard. You want a card? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
No problem. Yeah.
Exactly.
So we're changing that.
Good. You mentioned you're gonna be working with LSU as well.
So so we're working with a few teams. We actually have a meeting with LSU. We're going to be doing we're pitching the activation day with LSU, and so it's really exciting because I know you have a affiliation.
That's right.
So maybe we're going to go through him instead of who we're going to go through. But honestly, it's just really making sure that all college students understand this basics. So, and it's great for them to understand before they enter the game officially, right? Well, not everyone's going to be the player, but you might be an entertainment attorney, right? And you might be different aspects of the game. So connecting them with the people that let them know basically from now, hey, your likeness, your imagery, you could be making money from that.
And the other thing is educating the parents too. We got to realize that a lot of these, stars, these young stars coming up, their parents don't have that knowledge as well. So how do we, bring that knowledge to the entire household so as a unit they can grow together?
Absolutely. Well, we want to thank you both for coming on Real Deal Sports Show.
We got Darrell, we got Dr. J. It's been a pleasure. Brilliant Minds Unite. Check them out, yo.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Indeed. Real Deal Sports Show. Subscribe, like on YouTube, and share, most importantly.
Most important.